show you something I'm working on. It's a painting I've done. I'm still working on it, but I want to do some oiling out on this picture. You can kind of see when you do this, you want to look and see that some's shiny. See here? This is kind of shiny, but still needs some oil on it. This area is real flat right in here. This painting is dry, completely dry. Been dry for a month or so. You don't have to let them set that long to them. You should do it in between layers when you're painting. So before I add another layer of paint to this painting, I want to put some linseed oil on this. And don't want a real fast drying linseed oil. I want a slow drying. Not Stand Oil or something like that, but just a linseed oil brand that you trust that's good for, you know, a few weeks drying or something like that on its own. That way it has time to soak down into the paint. As you can see, you might be able to see just how flat this color is right here. This is oil paint. See how shiny this tree is right here. There's just bits and pieces where I've used mediums and stuff on this over time, and see how the buildup is. See the buildup to create that tree right there, but see how the painting is flat. So what we're going to do is just use a cloth, and well, you can use a brush, but I like to take a cloth like an old t-shirt or something like that. It doesn't have any. See how this is? I just use this one. I've used it on several. It works really well, but you want to put a thin coat on. When in the end, you want it to be a thin, even coat, and you apply it as needed because the oil goes down into the paint as it sits. Leave it flat. Do not try to stand up or it'll run down. So let me grab some linseed oil and I'll show you how I do that. Okay, now I got me just a little brush. I can swish it around. The reason I like to use a brush is, I'll show you in a moment on another painting, to get down in some of these cracks and crevices here. It's hard to get in there with a cloth without tearing or sticking to the paint. But I'll take some linseed oil and just pour a little bit on the canvas. Okay. While that's trying to run off, I will use my cloth. And what this does is it just makes the painting look really new again. May have some separation sometimes in this, which is okay, but just spread this out. This is the easy way to do it. You can put it on just slowly, but this way works best that I find. See how it separates right here, some of the mediums that I use? So you have to work with these areas. What this will do is just add more oil down there, keep the painting from cracking, things like that as time goes on. So I'm just going to add that into it. It's not going to hurt it. It just gives it a good finished luster, and it allows it to get ready to put a finished varnish on this painting. But look at this color right here. See right here, look. See how new it makes it? Brings all that color out in the painting. Just makes it look really wet and new again, without with. See that? And it just, see, look here. A lot of it will separate. You just push it to the side. You just got to keep working it in, working with the areas. These dry areas need it. Don't worry, this linseed oil may take it a while to dry, like a few weeks. Just be patient with it, because you'll get a very professional look when you get finished with your painting. And someone, if you want to sell it, it just shows the person buying it that you really took time when you tell them what you've done, and how a lot of paintings go unfinished. They don't have oiling out, and you know, it can, you want to do this to protect your artwork. And it brings so much depth back to the painting. It's just wow. You have high spots, low spots. And if you do this, and when it starts drying and you see that you have some low spots, then you'll come back and just put those in. Low spots they'll be dull when you look at them. Okay, see how I'm putting this on there and it's making it shiny. This just adds so much luster back to the painting. It's just really it just finishes it off very beautifully. Just rub it in. This is a synthetic brush that I'm using. Just have to work with it. Trust me, it's not going to dry immediately because this oil takes a little while you want it to soak down into these layers. Now this painting does not have a finish on it. It's just painted and let dry. I don't have any kind of varnish. You can't do this if it varnishes. You don't want to do that. So you want to do it before you put any kind of varnish to it. Sorry about all the camera movement. Just trying to look through the camera and what I'm doing at the same time. I will come back and show you in a moment how to remove some of this excess oil off of it so it's not too saturated. I just pour it on. I find it easier for me personally to put it on that way. See, it's starting, the ones that were spots it was rejecting, it's starting to take it now, so we're actually able, like right over in here, this part, if I just keep scrubbing it in, it actually stays. Just have to keep working with it. It might take a while, part of it. But, you know, earlier I did some paintings that I did and didn't have any of that happen. So I'm gonna go back and, as we saw earlier, see how it's got a shine on it? And when I rub some of that off, it'll look better. But that brush allowed me to get down in these areas right here. And I just rub it in there like that. And that oil will go right down in that thick paint and it'll keep it from cracking over time. Just go right through there. Alright, I'm gonna pause on this one. Let me walk over here, spin around on this painting and show you. See, this painting has this was all just flat black right in there. But I actually is able to add that nice shine to it. See there? Made all the colors come out. This is a knife painting, so I've got some low areas but the painting will look nice and fresh, like it was just painted. So the next thing I'll do is just go back and get some of the low areas on it. I can't do it right now because I don't have it set and stable, but look at this painting. This one was completely flat, but it's drying really well. See that? See how that is? This is one of my paintings that I have on my website. It's been finished about 1.5 years, and it's for sale on mthompsonstudio.com. So if you want to go pick up the original, you can get it there. It comes in a beautiful gold frame. This was one of my newer paintings. As you can see, I've added the oil to it. See the little shine to it, and it just gives this, it just looks so much more finished, more professional look to your painting. And you're protecting your work and a person's investment that purchases your painting by doing it properly, by doing this oiling out. All right.